Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to my Wild Hunter. Today we have a pretty big video. I have done a lot of things over the last week and I am so keen to share it with you guys. Starting off with the fact that my character is now currently level 265. We did manage to level up over the last couple of days and basically just being able to unlock Arcus and another set of dailies is quite nice. We have access to a new sacred symbol, and as you guys can see, it is currently level 2 at the moment. It does give us a decent amount of stat. I believe even at level 1, just getting to 265, the symbol gives us about 500 stat, and now at level 2 it gives us another 200 on top of that, giving us a total of 700. This extra little bit of stat is always welcome, of course. Extra free stat is always nice. And again, just getting another symbol, another area to potentially train in later on, depending on how I feel, is always nice. And we are doing pretty good progress here, even though I just basically leveled up a few days ago. I'm already at about 60%. We'll just see how far we feel like pushing this character in terms of its levels. I think my tentative level goal is probably around 270. I don't think I'll push to 275 just yet, but 270 is a pretty reasonable goal. That way, not only are we going to be able to unlock the next region to get another symbol, but we'll also be able to have a good amount of fragments on our character as well. And speaking of fragments, I haven't really shown it too much on camera. This is my Hexa Matrix at the moment. Currently have level 9 in one of our masteries. The second mastery is quite good for bossing, and this really helped us do a lot more damage in this week's bosses, which I'll show you guys in a bit. Of course, only one level in Wild Arrow Blast. This is mostly used for mobbing. It is still the main Hurricane skill, but just being able to unlock the 6th job allows us to mob very nicely, so very happy that we have at least one level in it. And you guys can see I have a little bit in everything else. I have some in my Origin, one in my Wild Arrow Blast type X, 8 in Jaguar Storm actually, which is something I'm almost level 9 in. Once it hits level 9, I think I move on to something else. And of course, one in Soul Janus to make our leveling up a lot easier. I haven't unlocked Primal Fury or Primal Grenade because according to the Wild Hunter Discord, these skills aren't as good in terms of the fragment investment, so I'll be leaving these at level 0 for quite a while, and even if I wanted to level them up, I can't really at the moment anyway, mostly because the skills are not even maxed yet, so the fact that I don't have to worry about them is quite nice, but eventually I will probably max them out thanks to some of the event stuff. In the 30th anniversary event, we do get another 10 experience node stones, and I'll probably use these to max out the rest of my skills. That way, at least when I do need to unlock them on my Hexa, I'll be able to do so. After making the gains on my Hexa and getting the new symbol, of course, I did try to do a few bosses. The first one that I tried to do was Hard Lotus. Last week I did actually solo Hard Lotus. I think it originally took me about 21 minutes to get the clear. And this time it was a lot more comfortable. I managed to clear Hard Lotus in about, I think, 16 or 17 minutes. So we did cut out about 5 minutes out of the run, which is really nice. I am still learning the boss fight, so a shorter boss fight on this character will always feel nice. And just being able to get a comfortable Hard Lotus clear, this character is in a really good position, at the very least to be a very strong bossing mule. Given the fact that it was a shorter run and the fact that I was more comfortable with my class as well, I am starting to enjoy this class a little bit more. It's not the most flashy class by any means, but the consistent damage and a reasonable burst makes this class feel very nice to play. After clearing Hard Lotus, we actually did manage to get another Black Heart drop on my account. This is a ridiculous amount of Black Hearts, by the way. I don't know how many of you guys have been keeping track across the series or since Hyperion has been released, but you guys can see here in my storage, I do in fact have 8 total Black Hearts, and this is on top of one that I had already used on my Battle Mage. I don't know how these Black Hearts keep coming to my character. I honestly probably prefer the other pitch boss to drop. It's a bit of a first world problem to have, having too many of these Black Hearts. But anyway, because we did manage to clear Hard Lotus in about 15 minutes, this does give me a little bit of confidence to be able to try some other bosses in the game as well. The one that I wanted to try the most was to be able to do Hard Damian. For Hard Damian to figure out if we have enough damage, I typically use Hard Lotus as a damage gauge. If I can clear Hard Lotus within about 15 minutes, I can probably do enough damage to do Hard Damian. And given the fact that the run was more or less 15 minutes inside Hard Lotus, I did give Hard Damian a try. And to start off, this class has some issues with Hard Damian. Hard Damian does spend a lot of time in the air, and Wild Hunter unfortunately is a class that is mostly stuck on the floor. The burst is very limited. We have to really hope that Damian doesn't move around too much in the fight, otherwise our Jaguar's AI doesn't chase after the boss very well, And because I'm still learning my class, I do press my skills when my Jaguar isn't close to the boss and I lose out on a lot of damage. And I think the run could have been a lot better if I was a little bit more aware of where my Jaguars were. So perhaps I need to learn how to resummon my Jaguar or just be a bit more patient with its positioning. That way, at least, every time I do press my skills, it does hit the boss. Overall though, the boss fight was pretty reasonable. I think the timing and the pacing was very good, especially in P1. I think I went to P2 with about 15 minutes remaining on the boss, and that is pretty much good enough to do the last 30% of the boss. In P2 Damian, we do spend a lot of time waiting for him to come down from the sky, or just trying to drag him away from the blue orbs that make us do less damage. I had to make sure that, for the most part, my origin burst and every single one of my bursts connected and did a decent amount of damage. But to be honest, I struggled a lot in hard Damian, especially in P2. I had never really done a long P2 Damian on Wild Hunter before, so I didn't really know how to move my character or position myself to be able to be outside of the blue orbs. But by the end of it, we did manage to get the clear. It was a really long clear. We almost even died out, but at the end of the day, we did get the boss down, and that is a lot of extra money for our account. And also a chance at another pitch boss as well. After soloing hard Damian, I also moved on to doing the rest of my weekly bosses, including all of the Arcane River ones, and also Chaos Slime. And of course, the main reason for us trying to clear these Arcane River bosses is to try to get some Arcane boxes. For this character, I would like to do something similar to what I did on my Xenon, where I used a Arcane Glove and a Arcane Weapon as my main damage gear. For the shoulder, shoes, and cape, I'll probably just settle on my 20-star Absolab gear, but for the glove and the weapon, Arcane Weapon is definitely preferable. This week, despite doing a lot more damage and having a lot better time in a lot of bosses and learning my class, I still did not manage to blue dot in V-Healer. In the last 5% of the boss, my carry decided he wanted to be out of the boss a lot faster. I didn't do enough damage, and I went red in V-Healer. But that's okay, because from what he told me, he got a source of suffering. I can't confirm it on camera, but he told me he has a source, so I'm happy for him. All jokes aside, we did manage to clear the rest of the bosses very easily. It was a bit unfortunate that I didn't do enough damage for V-Healer when he thought I did. A little bit of miscommunication on my part, so I'll take the fault for that. And it kind of turned out to be okay. We did clear the rest of the bosses, and I did manage to actually get a Arcane Armor box. This allows me to be able to work on a Arcane Glove, at the very least, on the upcoming 5, 10, 15. And considering the fact that I was planning on buying a glove anyway, this does save me out on about 100 droplets. So I'm very happy, despite not having a V-Healer clear, we did manage to get away with at least one Arcane Armor box. So those were the bosses for this week. Not too many exciting drops, but having a Arcane item and a lot of the bosses cleared puts us in a pretty good position. And right after that, basically, the day after, I believe, was the 5, 10, 15 event. And for once, I actually decided to stream the 5, 10, 15. I usually don't stream my Starforcing events because I like to either do commentary, but this time, because I had a lot of money, I believe I had 45 bill going into this event. I decided to stream it with everyone, and let's see how my 5, 10, 15 went. Let's go to a damage gear first. This is what we're working with. This is our starting point. 22 mil combat power, alright? 33k stat on this Wild Hunter. So let's see if we can make some decent gains from here. In no particular order, these are the things we're going to work on. So I'm just going to simply 17 this pendant, and then I think we're done with this one. Starting off with about 44.5 bill. Okay, that was cheap. From this point onwards, my Starforcing is going to be weird, because all of these I have random spares of, but I kind of want to greed. Like, I genuinely want to greed for my gains, but it's going to be expensive. So what I'm going to do, and this is going to apply to a lot of items, I'm just going to tap them one at a time. So I'm going to get this one to 16 first, and then I'm going to roulette both of them. It's going to be kind of expensive because I'm basically doubling the amount of money I'm spending. I'm tapping 2 items instead of 1. I'm just going to get them both to 17 first because 17 is guaranteed. Now I'm just going to tap them one at a time and see how far they go. I'll start off with this one because it's already upgraded. This is going to be so expensive. Okay, 18. But yeah, we made already 2 stars of gains, at least. That's good. Okay, so I'll go for 19 on this. Because the other one's already 18, so this has to go 19. I hope I have enough money for what I'm trying to do. Hello to home. Hopefully you're in the chat. Okay, 19. Nice. Hopefully this goes 19. Or booms, like whatever's cheaper. So this one is going for 21. Okay, there we go. So we managed to get a few stars on this. That's pretty good. Because this one that I blew up doesn't have that much going for it, right? It's like 18% dex, which is kind of whatever, and the flame's like kind of whatever. So that's my plan. You see, this is for those who like not really sure what I'm doing. I'm just like alternating between my items and seeing whichever one goes, because my existing items are kind of whatever. Like this one is 16 star with like 14%. That's really easy to get back. Okay, 18. And now we'll go back for 19 here. This is maniac tapping. I've never done this before. This is like so expensive. Yeah, this is just conserving every little bit of gains I can make because I have very little spares. I'm just hanging on to anything I can get. Okay, 19. Now we go for 21 here. I'll start worrying about my money when I start dropping below like 20 bill. Until 20 bill, I'll just won't worry too much. Alright. This one's going for 21. Or should I settle 20? I think I just go 21 here. Okay, I got lucky there, thank god. Alright. Slime ring done. And I have a 19 star drop ring, I suppose. That's pretty good. Because my current ones are not very good. Look at this golden flower ring. Alright, we managed to hit a 21 item and decent drop ring. I'm happy with that. Again, we're going to roulette these one at a time because I'm trying to conserve as many stars as possible if you guys are joining in late. Trying our best not to lose any gains at all. Alright, actually half of our money is already gone. That was kind of fast. I haven't even been streaming for that long. How long have I been here? Like 20 minutes? 5, 10, 15 is just really expensive if you're safeguarding everything you're tapping. Nice, 20, or rather 19. Now we go back for this one and hope it goes to 21. If actually this goes to 21, then I won't have to do CPQ again. Okay, there we go. That one boomed, and we went away with a 19 monocle. Not bad. I'll take that. Nice. I think let's full send this KT and see how far it goes. I think I'll probably hard settle at 19 for the time being. I went in with 40 something bill, but realistically it was just half of that because I'm doubling my costs by playing it really safe. I don't think I have enough money to roulette this. I think I'm just gonna go for an 18 settle here. Unfortunately, I don't really feel like going for 19 is that good considering how I have other items I can make gains on. I really want to play with this Daybreak, but the flame's not useful. Okay, I don't know. That made things a lot more complicated, even though I made a gain. I mean, the star is good, but now I don't know what to do. Alright, we'll just roulette them each. Like, 19, 19, then 21, and all that good stuff. This is probably the rest of our money. Unless it blows up quickly, it's gonna probably cost us the rest of the money. I only have 10 bill left. Ooh, 19. Not bad. Okay. Oh, okay. That's kind of fun. Alright guys, which one do you guys feel luckier between these two? Both of them are 19, so I'm pretty happy with that. Which one do we want to try 21? We want to try 21 the Dom Pendant or the Daybreak? What do you guys feel like? I'll let you guys pick between these two. A lot of people are voting for Dom Pendant. Yo, the Dom Pendant was him. You guys were right. Dom Pendant was him. Should I greed? I mean, I guess I would lose 1 star. Because worst case scenario, I come out with a 17 star KT, in theory. Best case scenario, I get a 19. Yeah, I mean, 6 bill for 19. It seems okay. I'm only risking 1 star. Yeah, let's go for it. I'm only risking 1 star. Okay, the KT was him. Alright, we're done. Spent way too much time thinking about that. What we can do now is spend a little bit of money just upgrading these and cubing these. I mean, yeah, we're pretty happy with this. So the main thing that we need to cube is this Twilight mark, because it's looking a little sad right now. Realistically, it wouldn't be possible for me to 21 a lot of items if I just raw tapped it. So I chose to rotate between the two. Okay. Managed to get that to unique, which is nice. Let's see. If we want a legendary anything, probably the 21s. Let's go with the... I mean, the Dumb Pennant was kind of him today. Like, I know it's only a 19... Oh, 18. Oh, well, the Dumb Pennant's pretty done there. I've already spent a lot today. Okay, nice. Whoa, triple int on reveal, look at that. Alright, we're going for at least 20 here. I do have some left here. Let's see if we can get it from here, otherwise we'll just buy a few more. Ah, nice. Last cube as well. Ooh. Okay. We'll take that. What are these like random 3 lines we're getting, but all on the unique tier? What is going on? Let's see what our damage is now. Let's see what our damage is. We started off 22 mil, 33k stat. Yeah, pretty good. 27.5. So that was my Starforcing event. We managed to go from, I believe, 22 mil combat power all the way to 28 mil combat power once we cubed and flamed everything. This puts our character in a pretty strong position right now. I am now more or less waiting for the last few items to come for this character. The main ones that I'm looking forward to are just 2 rings to be able to be used. Currently, like you guys saw, I'm using a Guardian Angel Slime ring and a Carnage Treasure. I am still currently using a Horntail ring and this random gold flower ring that is basically my Meso gear. I would like to replace one of them, of course, with the Superior Golix ring, which is on its way. We need to wait about another 2 weeks to be able to get our Superior Golix ring, and that still leaves us with potentially 1 more ring to work with. Ideally, I would like to see a special ring. I haven't seen many ring boxes at the moment. I would like to see maybe a continuous, a weapon jump, or a ring or restraint, ideally, but this last ring is a little bit difficult. I would like to try to make Meister rings, but I just don't have the materials to make them. So unfortunately, I will be using kind of a dud ring for the 4th slot for quite a while. And just depending on how our Golix goes, I might consider buying different Golix rings. And the main reason for that is we still are waiting for our Golix earring drop. I am currently using these Estellas that you guys saw me work on the 5, 10, 15. But ideally, I would like to have the 4-set Superior for that 30% IED and 30% boss damage. I haven't seen a earring yet, but I do have a lot of fodders. The worst case scenario is that I will have to buy the earring. But if we do manage to get a earring drop around the same time that we buy our rings, we might be able to save up some more of these coins to buy a 4th ring. It is not super ideal to do this because I think that these coins are very precious, but it won't be a bad idea for me to perhaps buy either a reinforced Golix ring or even perhaps the solid Golix ring. The difference between these two are very minimal, but I'll be able to buy more of these solid Golix rings if I decide to Starforce them. This is something that is kind of down bad. I'd rather not spend my coins on these worse Golix rings, but it's entirely dependent on whether or not we see an earring drop. If we don't see an earring drop, we'll have to, of course, buy the earrings for 700 coins, which puts me back quite a lot to be able to try to buy any other rings. Maybe it'll give me more time to perhaps get a special ring drop, or maybe get enough materials to make Meister rings. Overall, I'm just kind of still waiting on a lot of things, hoping for the earring drop and waiting for these Golix coins. In terms of drops as well, ideally I would like to see a arcane weapon drop. I have finished up the gloves like you guys saw here. At 17, I have these arcane gloves, which are a lot better than the Abso gloves, and ideally I don't want to make 20-star Abso gloves. Using these 17-star arcane gloves is probably fine. And once we have enough to get our weapon, ideally I would like to see a drop, of course, but if I do have to buy them, then it is what it is. I do have a decent amount of droplets. I have about 50 here in my inventory, and I think in my storage I have another 100 or so. So it is something I can buy, but it is quite expensive on the droplets. I will have to wait about 3 weeks to be able to buy the weapon. I only have 15 of the will droplets, and I believe we need 24 of them, so another 3 weeks to go to be able to get our arcane weapon. Overall, I'm very happy with the gains that I've made on this character. This character going from 22 to 28 mil combat power is a huge gain, a big jump in damage, and I'm looking forward to being able to try out the damage in more bosses next week. I have finished all of my bosses like I showed you guys earlier, but I wouldn't mind giving a try at some of these bosses solo. I think the main 2 bosses I would like to try to solo are Chaos Gloom and Hard Will. these two bosses are very doable for me, I think. Perhaps only just barely. I can't really consider Hard Lucid because I don't think I can do the last phase at all. I will probably need to either get more gains or have a higher Hexa to be able to do P3 in Hard Lucid. But I think for Hard Will and Chaos Gloom, they are sort of doable. Hard Will has more leeway for DPS, so if I can upkeep my damage in P3 and P2, I should be okay in terms of the timing. Although P3 might be a longer one, so that will be a challenge for me. For Chaos Gloom, I think it still might be a little bit ambitious, given the fact that Gloom is more of a burst boss than one that is favored towards DPS. So it might actually not be doable for my Wild Hunter, but it is something that I would like to try to solo. So those are my main two goals at the moment. Hopefully we'll be able to give them a try next week after the reset. And yeah, we'll just have to see how we go and just how far these gains have gotten us. We are still definitely on the lower end of the damage scale to be able to do those bosses, but I'm down to try to see what I can do. Anyway guys, that will be it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys have enjoyed this series so far, please give the videos a like, it helps me out a lot. And if you would like to keep up with my progress on my characters, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you guys again, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.